Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dan Meadowcroft and I hope we're all doing okay on this day. This wasn't meant to come out, and I thought during the England break that we'd have a bit of a calming down in terms of this week, but alas, Watford FC have shown that they are newsworthy of the day. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to make a video today apart from this evening with Cal on the podcast, which is going to be a new podcast coming out on Thursday. If anyone wants to go and subscribe to that, it's the Cal and Dom Talk Nonsense podcast, as well as subscribe to this channel, guys, because it will be on this channel as well. If you like the content as well, please give it a like and comment below, Watford fans, what you think, or just fans in general, what you thought about this sort of news today, because Rob Edwards, after 10 games, has been sacked as the Watford boss. Now, first of all, what I'm going to do is pull up a tweet that comes from The Athletic. It's a quote. And this is the quote from Watford themselves at the start of this season. "We will be supporting Rob Edwards come hell or high water. We believe that he will deliver what we all want, a sustained and successful football club we can all be proud of." And this is why the annoyances come from most of the Watford supporters. And I agree with them. I wasn't going to make a video today, but it's so frustrating seeing Watford do what they do all the time. And it's such a short-term plan. There's no longevity towards this. We're only 10 games in. He's won 3, drawn 5 and lost twice, which is not too bad in terms of a side that's just come down. There's been a lot worse in the past, hasn't there? But what did Rob Edwards have in his disposal? I looked on Wikipedia before, and Watford got rid of 50 players in the summer, and we could talk about them in a second, but this seems like the merry-go-round of Watford every single season. You know, they have a familiar foreign manager come in at some point, then they get rid of him, bring in an old-fashioned manager like Ranieri last season, and Roy Hodgson's been there as well. Get rid of him, and then an unknown manager like Rob Edwards has been relative to the Championship and the Premier League. And I thought that they got away with this because usually they have like an unknown foreign manager, and they've seemed to have this young and thriving manager in Rob Edwards, who's done well at Forest Green Rovers. And what was the point in all this summer speculation and all this unrest over the Forest Green? You know, the chairman came out in the summer and was displeased with how Rob Edwards and Watford were in the sort of dealings with the signing of the manager. But what has happened? There must be something behind the scenes, because yes, the play has been great, but what can you do after 10 games? What can you actually do after 10 games? You can't make, Rome wasn't built in a day, and they've brought in a manager in Slaven Bilic, which is just, again, another manager. Hold me to this quote. Slaven Bilic won't be there at the end of the season. He definitely won't be, because either Watford fans will be sick of him, or they'll be sick of the board because they know it's just going to happen around the corner. And I'm stressing that I'm not annoyed, and I'm not saying that Watford are a disgrace in terms of the fans or the play on the field. It's the board and the off the field, how they're treating the fans essentially. And it must be frustrating as a Watford fan. You look at, I've written it down here, that the 50 players, like I said earlier on in the video, the likes of Dennis, Zinkernagel, Cucho, Ben Foster, Gray, King, Kiko Firmino, Sissoko, Dahlberg, Kamara, which we'll get onto in a second as well, Rose, Fletcher. That is a Championship team already, and they've got rid of them as well as a ton of others. And it's just the accumulation of managers and different sort of styles shows the glut of players that Watford had to get rid of, and they couldn't bring many players in as well. You look at Burnley this season; they've also had an overhaul, but they've bought well, and they've signed the players that company wants, and there seems to be sort of a plan there, a system there, that Burnley seem to have this possession-based football, and Rob Edwards has this high-intensity wing play action, and he hasn't had the players to bring in. He's brought in Gaspar, who looks like he's already, he's not up to terms with the speed of the Championship, and he looks leggy. Bale looks like a decent signing. Dennis looks like a okay loan. He was well at Forest last season, and hopefully he can do the same. Chowdhury and Minaj and Courtney Hose looks like a good player at the back, but there's a lot of players in this Watford team that are a dead wood, and they need to get rid of a lot of them. You look at the likes of Cathcart, who probably should have been there, should have gone a couple of seasons ago.
Sorry for the cutaway. I'm going to be speaking on my potato phone right now, just while I'm editing this. I did forget to mention about Kamara, who is a player that Watford sold to Udinese for 16 million, and then brought back on loan in the same summer, the same day essentially. Basically, the owner of Udinese is the exact owner of Watford FC as well. So meaning that Watford got a free £16 million, which sort of shows the sort of desperate measures that the Watford owner will get to sustain the club right now. They aren't in a good position, as well as the fact that, well, it's a little bit corrupt, isn't it? And this sort of sums up the whole video, isn't it? That I think that the boardroom and the owner is a bit of a disgrace for the English league and the English football system. So back to the video, guys.
It must be frustrating, and I will stress that the board are an absolute disgrace on this front. And the thing is, Watford will just get away with this, and they'll finish 6th, and they'll probably get promoted again, which is the most frustrating thing, because they can go through another 17 managers in the next 5 seasons and get away with it. And I don't know how any other club doesn't get away with this. You look at the likes of Oldham and Scunthorpe and all these teams down at the bottom of the pyramid, or in non-league now, who've gone through countless amount of managers over the last few years, and it never seems to work. But for some reason at Watford, it seems to work. Now, I mean, Forest Green Rovers fans must be loving the fact that Rob Edwards has just been sacked, because it was obvious, wasn't it? From the start, it didn't seem like a right appointment for Rob Edwards. Not in terms of, pushing up in the ladder. Credit to him making a risk, but there's making a risk and there's going on a 6-week holiday down to the just above London, isn't it? I mean, there's so many things I could say about this Watford side, and it is infuriating. And I will speak again on it on the podcast later today. And Watford fans, what do you think about this? Do you agree with what the things I've said? And who, like with Slaven Bilic coming in, he's obviously a good manager, and he will probably put you up in the league. They are only in 10th place anyway, and it's the start of the season, and I think games are coming thick and fast, especially with the World Cup coming up. But did you think Rob Edwards deserved a bit longer at the helm? Like I've just said, I think he definitely deserves at least a season, but it's Watford and that's what they do. And I've come on here, bit of fire under my belly, but it's more of a case of just like, oh, for God's sake, bit of a disappointment. But like I said, Watford fans, do you think the board are a disgrace like I think they are? Do you think that Rob Edwards deserves a longer chance, and where do you think Rob Edwards will end up in his next club? I think he'll be in a lower Championship League One team. He could even go back to Forest Green Rovers if they wanted him back, but I don't think that'll happen anytime soon. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this sacking and just sackings in general. Do you think clubs are a bit knee-jerk reaction, or do you think it's because of the amount of money it's needed? Just a quick one again, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. I've been trying to get these out bi-daily, and please comment below what you thought, and please like the video. Cheers, guys. Cheers.